Alright, so you're not going to believe this. Get a coffee, sit down, because this story is a wild ride from start to finish. It all started on a Tuesday, and I only remember because that's my long day at the office, the kind where you come home and your brain is fried, your soul is fried, everything's just a mess. All I wanted was to relax by my pool, tune out the world, maybe nurse a drink, and just breathe, you know what I mean? But life, or fate, or whatever you want to call it, had other plans. Before everything went totally off the rails, I had my first real run-in with her, the neighbor. The Karen to end all Karens. And let me tell you, I hadn't lived in this house for more than a couple months. I'm quiet, keep to myself, demanding job, social battery dead by 5. My lawn's trimmed, my trash cans are never out more than a few hours. I'm basically invisible. Or so I thought. That morning, I was just out front watering my hydrangeas. The air was cool, birds doing their thing, idyllic, you know? Suddenly she comes barreling out her door, storming across that perfect, chemically sterilized lawn like she's marching into battle, and she stops dead at the property line. Hands on hips, that scowl, honestly, it could curdle milk. I give her a polite nod, morning. Big mistake. She just explodes, pointing this blood-red nail at me like she's about to shank me for breathing. She starts ranting about urban blight, about respectable neighborhoods, about my loud music and strange cooking smells lowering property values. Loud music? I wear headphones. Strange smells? I grilled chicken. I was holding a watering can. For crying out loud. Still, I tried to play it cool. Sorry if I bothered you. I can be more mindful. Nope. She's not interested in solutions. She's interested in a fight. She takes another step, drops her voice into something cold. It's not just the cooking. It's your whole vibe. We have children here. Good, all-American children. Frankly, people like you shouldn't be here at all. And the way she said Itya, the racism just hanging in the air, bold as brass on a Tuesday morning. I'm not easily rattled, but man, that one hit different. There's a special kind of anger when someone hates you before they even know you. Still, I just fixed her with a look, said, "You have a nice day now," cold as ice, and walked inside, hands shaking. I should have known that wasn't the end. That was just the prelude, the little taste test of crazy. The main course was still coming, and it was going to get served up by her pride and joy. Fast forward, I get home totally beat. The morning's encounter is just echoing in my head all day. Like a rock in my shoe I can't shake out. I dump my stuff by the door, head straight for the back patio, already thinking about that cold water. But the second I slide the glass open, this rank, yeasty, sour stench smacks me in the face. Not chlorine, not pool smell. It was frat party morning after. My Pulmy sanctuary was trashed. Beer cans bobbing like little trash icebergs, a couple of brown bottles sunk to the bottom, and this nasty, sudsy film floating on top. I just stared, frozen, feeling violated. This was personal. My mind instantly flashed to Karen, to her face that morning, to her venom. It was no coincidence. But would she do it herself? Nah. She'd get someone else to play henchman. And then I saw it. A chunky yellowish splatter running down my white vinyl fence. Vomit. That was the smell. Someone had thrown up hard on my property. That was no accident. This was a message. They'd crossed a line, and they had no idea who they were dealing with. My job, by the way, is all about details, finding truth in a mess of data, letting evidence speak, being meticulous and patient. So I did what I do best. Got out my phone, took pictures, wide shots, close-ups, time-stamped everything. Then I remembered the cameras. I'd installed a high-end security system the week I moved in. Call it paranoia, call it good sense. High-def, night vision, motion sensors. Everything. If someone even sneezed on my property, I had it on tape. Back at my desk, heart pounding with anticipation, I scrubbed through the previous day's footage. Nothing. Then, at tube motion at the fence, there he was, Karen's son, maybe 16, drunk off his butt in the middle of the day. Baseball cap backwards, band t-shirt, stupid smirk. He clambers over my fence, cracks open a dozen beers and dumps them into my pool just for laughs. Then, just when he looks proud of himself, he goes green, stumbles to the fence, and spews all over it. Every second caught in glorious 1080p. I saved the video to 3 different places. Now I had my smoking gun. So I did the adult thing, went next door to talk. Her husband answer guy looked like a soggy napkin. Before he could speak, Karen barged in, all claws and teeth. I explained politely what had happened. She sneered. That's ridiculous. My son is an honor student, he'd never do that. You're just trying to start trouble. Her husband started to say something, but one look from her shut him up. The casual racism, return shield and weapon. I showed the video. No ambiguity. Her son? Fence. Beer, vomit. Husband turned white. Karen, though, just got angrier. Not that her son did it, but that he got caught. You're filming my minor son? That's illegal. I'm calling the police. You predator. She was spinning, deflecting, going full victim. These are my cameras on my property. Your son trespassed and vandalized. He was just being a boy. I expect you to pay for a full pool cleaning and fence repair, about $2,000. That sent her through the roof. We're not paying you a dime. Get off my property or I'll call the cops. So I left calmly, telling her she'd hear from my lawyer. The next day, I get a certified letter from the HOA. My cameras, they say, are intrusive. I need to take them down or face fines. And at the Batoma note, prompted by a formal complaint from your neighbor. She'd gone nuclear, using the HOA as a weapon. It was on. I called the police. I figured, this is criminal. I have clear video. Surely justice will be swift. 2 young, bored cops show up. I explain everything, show the footage. One lets out a whistle. Yeah, that's pretty clear. But then comes the letdown. Honestly, it's a stupid prank. By the time it goes to a prosecutor, it'll get tossed. It's a civil matter. Take them to small claims court. I ask, you're not even going to talk to them? They shrug. We'll knock. Both said, she said. And that was that. The law's involvement lasted all of 3 minutes. So I did what I do best. If the system won't help, you use what you have. Here's the thing, I am a senior forensic auditor for a federal agency. My job? Digging up the stuff people don't want found. Fraud, hidden assets, shell companies, you name it. All I need is a breadcrumb. I started with property records, saw they'd refinanced twice, maybe strapped for cash. Checked state business registrations, husband had a generic LLC registered to their house. No website, no clients, no online presence. Weird, right? Their social media was a highlight reel of perfection vacations. New cars. Big Christmases, but the numbers didn't add up. Digging deeper, I checked the PPP loan database. Yep, the COVID relief money. Bingo. 2 loans for a combined $200,000 for 8 employees, working out of their spare bedroom. Fraud, clear as day. Meanwhile, Karen's campaign went local. She was out talking to everyone, spreading rumors, turning people against me. But not everyone was buying it. Frank, the old guy across the street, pulled me aside. That family's poison. The son's been a menace for years, vandalism, stealing, but nobody ever has proof. She runs the HOA like a tyrant. Frank's stories confirmed it wasn't just meshed, been bullying people for years. So I packaged up everything I'd found, clean, professional, bullet-pointed tip, anonymous email from a library far away, sent it straight to the SBA fraud tip line. I made sure it would land on an investigator's desk, not just some slush pile. Weeks passed. Karen glared, the HOA harassed, the pool got cleaned. Then one night my camera pinged. 3 a.m. Her son in a hoodie, carrying a jug. He poured bleach on my hydrangea, systematic, deliberate. Not a prank. Retaliation, intimidation. I didn't stop him. I needed more evidence. I knew law enforcement moves slow, but I knew I'd built a solid case. Then it happened. A nondescript gray sedan parked across the street. 2 guys in suits got out. Not cops, not salesmen, federal agents. They questioned Karen, stayed for hours. The rumor mill exploded. Frank called, they asked about the business, if I'd seen any employees. I told them the truth. Just the son making trouble. The foundation of Karen's fake perfect world started to crack. Suddenly, she and her husband were fighting in the driveway, blaming each other. She stopped policing mailboxes. He looked haunted. The son, usually cocky, now moved like a ghost. Their world was caving in. Meanwhile, I started documenting her infractions for the HOA trash cans out too long, weeds, parking violations. Snap, email, bylaw reference. Let her taste her own medicine. Little white violation letters started arriving in their mailbox, each one a little cut. About a month later, the gray sedan came back. This time, the agent stayed less than an hour. Not long after, a for sale by owner sign appeared on their lawn. No realtor too desperate for that. They packed in a hurry, looking defeated. The day they left, the neighborhood felt lighter. Frank brought over a six-pack. To the victor, he grinned. The war was over. But then the twist. Weeks later, Frank had the scoop. The husband pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering 3 years in federal prison. Assets forfeited, licenses lost. But that wasn't the craziest part. Turns out, the son was running a prescription pill operation, using the dad's sham LLC to launder money. The cameras I'd installed? They threatened his business. The beer in the pool prank was an intimidation tactic, a warning. The bleach on my flowers? Another shot across the bow. The cameras weren't just a nuisance, they were a threat to the whole rotten family operation. The son got a year in juvenile detention. The mother lost everything, no criminal charges, but total public disgrace. She moved out of state, reputation in shreds. The HOA mellowed. The street became a community again. A lovely new family moved in, and the air finally felt clean. I sit by my pool these days, hydrangeas blooming, water crystal clear, and sometimes I pull up that old video, the cocky kid, thinking he's untouchable. He had no idea what chain reaction he was setting off. One stupid act, one security camera, and the whole house of cards came crashing down. So that's my story. How a racist rant and a few cans of beer led to a federal indictment, a ruined criminal family, and a peaceful neighborhood. The moral? Don't mess with a man's pool, and be real careful who you pick a fight with. You never know if your quiet neighbor is the one person who knows exactly how to burn your whole world down all without leaving a single fingerprint. But that's just my take. Was I right to go as far as I did? Was it justice or just high-stakes revenge? I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts below. Tell me where you stand on right, wrong, and what people owe each other in a community. And hey, if you ever move somewhere new, maybe give your neighbor a wave. You never know what kind of story they're living through, just behind the fence.